I'm Whitney Ward. A construction alert for your afternoon commute. Lanes on Sprague Avenue will be reduced now for the next month and a half. So take a look. Sprague between University and Herald will be affected for the next 6 weeks. Now, the city of Spokane Valley has big plans for that section of road. The main goal is to reduce speeding and make it safer for pedestrians. KREM 2's Janelle Finch is breaking down how the city plans to make it all happen. Janelle?
Well, if you take a look behind me, you'll see these cones are reducing the lanes here on Sprague Avenue, giving the drivers less room. Driving westbound from University to Herald, drivers will only be able to use these 3 lanes. Over the next 6 weeks, the city will monitor how reduced lanes impact traffic volume and speed. According to City Traffic Engineering Manager Jeremy Clark, the city has 3 main goals with this project: treat stormwater facilities, build more safe crosswalks, and reduce traffic speed. Clark says this is the test run for a future project that could make Sprague 3 lanes permanently.
This is just a demonstration for the public, and also an opportunity for us to collect data and verify that our traffic studies are accurate. It's a pretty big change to go from 5 lanes to 3 on the primary corridor in Spokane Valley, so we want to make sure it's going to work, make sure we thought of everything first.
Clark says after 4 weeks, the city will begin collecting data on traffic impacts. The city will compare 2021 to the last few weeks. Clark says the project could be shorter if winter weather comes early. If the project is successful, construction could begin as early as next year. The project lead also told me that they reached out to businesses along Sprague for their feedback, and they've heard pretty positive reactions so far. I spoke with the Sprague business manager, though, to talk about what their thoughts are on it, which I will have their notes at 5 and 6. Reporting live in Spokane Valley, Janelle Finch, KREM 2 News.
Well, driving through downtown Spokane also may be a bit challenging. That's because construction crews are reconstructing Riverside Avenue a few blocks at a time. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley has been tracking that project since the beginning. Tonight she shares an update on its progress.
Construction here on Riverside Avenue may be a headache for some, but it's a headache we knew was coming. The city of Spokane put the project out to bid in February, and work started in June. Now, from Division to Wall, lanes are being reduced from 4 to 3 lanes, and that's to accommodate a new bike lane. Then from Wall to Monroe, lane restriping will continue new traffic reconfiguration. Now, the city of Spokane says construction here is on schedule. Crews are currently in phase 2 of 3, with phase 2 expected to wrap up at the end of this month. Still, businesses who are closest to all this construction are eager for the project to be done.
We're told a lot that, hey, we want to get down there, but we can't figure out how to get there. Or I've had people say we want to bring our mom in for dinner, but we can't park and walk that far.
I'll have more on that coming up tonight on KREM. Reporting in downtown Spokane, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
In the meantime, Spokane is reaching the end of official construction season, but there are still several projects that we are tracking here over the next few weeks and months. So for the latest on road work across the Spokane area, you can text the word roads to 509-448-2000 and we'll send those links right to your phone. We do have an update tonight on that serious crash that injured 2 teens on Elk Chattaroy Road last week. We have just learned today one of those teenagers, the female passenger, has now died. That crash happened north of Spokane near Chattaroy, and according to the sheriff's office, the Riverside High School students were not wearing seatbelts. Tonight, the other teen remains in stable condition. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. A woman arrested in connection to a deadly stabbing in Spokane made her first court appearance today. Spokane police say they arrested 30-year-old Ashley Garrity for second-degree murder. That stabbing happened inside an apartment on 1st Avenue and Division last week. Now, court documents state the victim got into an argument with Garrity and say that Garrity then stabbed the victim, who later died. Garrity's bond has been set at $1 million. Police say she has 6 prior felony convictions. Well, today in national news, Adnan Syed has officially walked out of jail a free man. Today, after a judge overturned his murder conviction for that 1999 murder of a high school classmate, Hae Min Lee. So he's now 41 years old and has spent more than 2 decades behind bars. In court today, the prosecutor said there was recently rediscovered evidence that points to an alternate suspect in her death. They said it was concealed by the case's original prosecutor. Syed's story was made famous, of course, through the popular true crime podcast Serial that detailed his case, his conviction, and his subsequent appeals. All right, happening today, Spokane City Council expected to vote on an illegal camping ordinance. Under that ordinance, people will not be allowed to set up a tent anywhere within 50 feet of viaducts, 3 blocks of congregate shelters, or in places where Spokane police say is a danger to public safety. Now, the latest update removes the condition that shelter beds must be available to enforce those restrictions, except for camping along the Latah Creek and Spokane riverbeds. In those instances, camping is allowed if shelter space is not available. That ordinance is different from the mayor's sit and lie ordinance, which does prohibit camping on downtown sidewalks between the hours of 6 a.m. and midnight. Neither of these ordinances, though, apply to anyone staying at the homeless encampment currently there near I-90 and Freya. Also being voted on tonight is an emergency ordinance to lower the city's threshold for activating safe air centers during unhealthy air quality days like from wildfire smoke. Councilmember Zach Sapone is now proposing lowering the threshold from an AQI of 250, which is considered very unhealthy, to an AQI of 150, which is in the unhealthy range. It would allow the city to open those safe air centers, getting people out of the smoke faster, because it has been proposed as an emergency ordinance. It would need to get more than 5 votes to pass. Well, the western Alaskan coast is cleaning up after a powerful storm slammed into the state on Saturday. Forecasters say it was the worst storm there in half a century, leaving destruction along 1,000 miles of coastline. There has been extensive damage to the state's water and sewer systems, as well as roads all along the coast. Alaska's governor says there have been no reports of deaths or injuries, but he did declare the state of disaster. Closer to home here, we are officially in the final days of summer. It's already starting to feel like fall out there. I've seen my first leaves that are starting to turn on my commute and in my backyard. So our chief meteorologist, Jeremy Legoo, joining us out there right now in the sunshine on what has turned into a pretty great day.
Yeah, it's an absolutely spectacular day, but yeah, some of those leaves are starting to change. I was out hiking in some of the higher elevation areas with little Ham, and I looked over and went, holy cow, the whole hillside is colorful and beautiful. But hey, that's just a sign of where we're heading. 74 degrees right now, calm wind, but that's not going to remain the case as we head through the next couple of days. This low dives its way to the south. It stays out to our east, but with a ridge of high pressure out to our west, what winds up happening for us is we get a pressure gradient that kicks up some wind. So for us tomorrow, well, we drop down into the 40s. It's a rather chilly start to the day. I wouldn't be shocked if a few of you dropped into the 30s. Places that I would be most concerned about would be around Deer Park, Newport, Colville area. That's if you're down in a valley, that cold air is going to pool down low. Could happen in the Palouse as well. By tomorrow afternoon, similar to today, just a little bit breezier. We are going to see a little more wind the next couple of days. Tuesday and Wednesday, we're talking high fire danger as we see a lot of wind across the region and mostly sunny skies.